here to present the female vocal performance of the year.
And the winner is
Niiella.
Niiella, where you are.
Right where you are, that's where I want to stay forever.
Hi, my name is Niiella and I'm on Voice Gospel. And I was born in North London, Hackney.
I believe in you.
But I feel like I also grew up in Ghana because I went to Ghana when I was 10 and I went to school there for about 2.5 years. And then I came back to the UK, but I feel like it gave me a very good idea of Ghana. And then when I was 18, went back to Ghana again, and I was in Ghana on and off for about 10 years, but predominantly in Ghana more than anywhere else.
This is our sibling tag video, and we are
The dance.
the dance. Why are we dance?
Because modernized, isn't it?
What, so we're not doing the Aquarian thing?
I'm from a family of 7 siblings. I'm one of 7 siblings. I'm number 5 from the top. And I remember growing up, my grandma, my mom, they used to sing all the time whilst they were cooking in the kitchen, cleaning and all of that stuff. And me and my siblings would be backing them up. My brothers would be playing drums or whatever on the little, bongo that they had or on the stairs, stuff like that. So that's where I learned to sing and harmonize and all of that. Growing up, I listened to a lot of music that was, as long as it was under the umbrella of Christian music, we were allowed to listen to it. So I listened to a lot of country music, pop, rock, soul, gospel, contemporary. I listened to artists like Third Day, Jars of Clay, Mercy Me, Kirk Franklin, Don Moen, Natalie Wilson, Gospel Gangsters, Grits, Pillar, which is a rock group, Newsboys, Gaithers, Women of Faith. I also grew up listening to a lot of Elder Miracle, Joshua Ajay, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Tego Sisters, Getty and Friends, Michael Osei-Bonsu, like literally some of the music like night and day from each other. I listen to such eclectic genres of music, and I feel like that definitely influenced me as a musician now.
But things don't always go as planned, do they?
I would describe my music as very eclectic. I think as much as worship is number one for me, I feel like in worship I express myself the most, because I feel like that's where I'm most comfortable. If you listen to my music, you will hear that some of the songs I write are they're very far from worship. They're a lot more, maybe they've got some infusions of like neo soul and jazz, and which is interesting because the one genre of music I never listened to growing up was jazz, but I somehow sing jazzy sometimes. I don't know where that came from. But it has infusions of like maybe a bit of hip hop, a bit of rock, a bit of gospel, contemporary, just all sorts. I love to mash music up together. And so I would say that my music is literally a mashup of genres. But it's gospel, it's Christian. As long as it's under that umbrella, once again, I'm fine with it.
Jesus, you're my number one.
As a musician, I face a lot of challenges, especially since I started my music career in Ghana. I was 19, 20, and the music industry predominantly dominated by men, which wasn't really a problem. It was just interesting to navigate. I feel like, being a girl that's in the middle of 3 boys, I've got a brother above me and then 2 beneath me. I even had a tomboy phase. So I always gravitated more towards boys than girls when I was younger. So I didn't necessarily have a problem with the fact that the industry was dominated mainly by men. I just think what the issue was that sometimes, they would try and dictate to me what they thought I should be doing. There was a vision. Every time I closed my eyes, I had a vision of where I believed God was taking me to, that most times other people wouldn't see, not even in the industry, but sometimes friends, family, and all of that. And that's something that was very difficult because sometimes it would feel like I was on my own and I didn't have anyone backing me up. It was just me out here in these streets trying to fight for what I believed God was calling me to. And that was quite painful sometimes and hard, but I couldn't deny the vision, and so I just literally kept pushing through day by day, month by month, year by year, and here we are.
Today we just want to acknowledge the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, our comforter, our counselor.
Another thing that I struggled with in the industry was being boxed, or people trying to put me in a box. Growing up, the sort of music I listened to was so eclectic that I didn't understand why I had to be boxed to one particular type of music or genre, and that was quite difficult for me, where people would try and do that in the industry, and I was just like, I don't do all this industry stuff, in the day and age that we're even in. Not discrediting radio presenters, TV presenters, or any of the media folk, but someone can literally record something on their phone like this and blow up overnight, and so as much as it's important to follow the protocols of the system, you don't have to follow the protocols of the system to your own detriment, because personally I believe that I operate in and around the industry. I feel like that has been a bit of a challenge for me, as a musician who started in Ghana and then transitioned to the UK.
And praise him
The advice that I would give to any young artist or musician that's, starting out is the same. It's always the same advice. And the advice is be authentically you. And don't be afraid to walk out your gift the way God has given it to you. I know that so many trends come and go, and sometimes there's a type of music that's like blowing up, Afro beats and this, that and the other. And it feels like you need to jump onto the wave to be relevant. I think it's totally fine for you to enjoy it, collaborate with someone, maybe just dip your toes in there, have fun, of course, have fun, but never neglect what God called you to in the first place. If God called you to be a worshiper and you've neglected that to go and do jazz, like, you don't have God's backing anymore, because that's not what he asked you to do. That's not the provision that he has made available to you. You've basically left it behind and you're doing something else. So if you end up struggling, then it's going to be like, oh, isn't God helping me? Or, why am I not doing well? And it's because you're out of place, you're out of line. So I think it's just really important for people to be authentically who God called them to be. And the other thing as well is invest in your craft, invest in your gift. Don't be afraid to spend money on it. I've spent money on my gift. I had to go and see a vocal specialist at some point because of the way I used my voice, and I didn't have good vocal techniques and all of that stuff. And I've seen such an improvement in my voice, and my range has improved and grown back to where it was when I was younger, and maybe even more. And so I think it's important for you to invest in your gift. And the last thing that I'm going to say as well is don't be afraid. Fear manifests itself sometimes in perfection. I want something to be perfect before I start, but the truth is that you're scared. You need to start from somewhere. And for most of us, if you see where we started and where we are right now, we are light years ahead of where we started from. But if we hadn't started, we wouldn't be where we are today. So it's important for you to start. It's important for you to obviously strive for excellence, but excellence in your own capacity of what God has given to you. So there needs to be balance in that. That's the advice that I would give to a young musician or artist that is coming up.